just like with my top 5 Halo list, this is my top 5 Gears of War list of the main games, except for Judgment. We don't talk about Judgment. Judgment is just total wank. But, quite clearly, starting off at number 5 here with Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4 isn't too bad. I actually quite enjoyed playing through the story. I like the new characters introduced. I was even a lot happier when Marcus Phoenix came back into it. And, yeah, they just kind of carried on the Gears formula. They made the games look a hell of a lot better. There's some good multiplayer. It wasn't great. It's still really good, but obviously it's better than Judgment. Judgment, again, it's not terrible, but it's too arcadey, and it was just different. They changed up some of the button combinations, and they fiddled too much with it, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah, Gears 4 is the lowest on the list, but it's not a terrible game. I'm not going to lie, I do feel a little bit odd having Gears 5 as number 4 and Gears 4 as number 5. It kind of messes with my brain a little. However, Gears 5 is a massive improvement on Gears 4, and I absolutely love the escape mode, obviously the continued horde mode into this game, and the multiplayer is actually pretty cool. There seems to be a lot of dislike for Halo 5 by some of the hardcore fans. And I've been a lifelong Gears of War fan, but I wouldn't say I'm like a super hardcore fan. I play it a lot, I have played it a lot, and I've completed every single one. But yeah, I don't understand the true hate. I think Gears 5 looks great, plays great, and has an absolute buttload of content in it. And like I said, was a massive upgrade from Gears 4. Hopefully with Gears 6 they kind of bring it back to its roots a bit more and focus on the original cast. I think that would be a little bit better. But Gears 5 is definitely not a bad game. It's actually a very good game. It's one of the best multiplayer games on the Xbox at the moment, in my opinion, and is definitely worth giving a bash, especially if you have Game Pass. I mean, it's free, why not? At number 3, we have Gears of War 2. Now, when Gears of War 2 originally released, it released around the same time as Far Cry 2, and I could only afford one of those games at the time, and I chose Far Cry 2 when all my friends picked up Gears 2. So, after about a week or a couple of weeks of me playing Far Cry 2, I realised I made a mistake, and then I think I traded it in, or I may have just bought Gears 2 then, and kind of, smacking my head against the wall trying to think of reasons why I chose Far Cry 2 over Gears 2. Gears 2 improved on everything that needed improving on from the first. Now the first is still really damn good, and obviously for obvious reasons you can see it ranks higher than this one on my list. But Gears 2 just starts off with a bang and just continues all the way through. It's just action-packed, it's got a great story, it's got some really good writing in places and some really good performances, especially involving Dom. Obviously I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played the Gears games, but that's there. They implemented a lot of new just a lot of new combat mechanics and things you can do, and obviously the weapons, and the set pieces just became bigger and better in Gears 2 from Gears 1, and still looks really, really good to this day. And it's every single Gears game, especially 1 through 3, is an absolute blast to play through for myself personally, and Gears 2 is definitely up there. At number 2 is Gears of War the Ultimate Edition. Much like my Halo top 5 list, I used the anniversary editions of Halo 2 and 1. There I'm using the Ultimate Edition version of Gears of War because it's the first Gears of War, just better. They made it look a hell of a lot better and play a lot better, and they added in an extra act, and it's obviously nostalgia has a lot to do with it, but the first Gears of War game was it was revolutionary when it came out. It looked gorgeous, it looked amazing. The Lancers with the chainsaws on the end cutting up the Locust was just awesome. The multiplayer was brilliant. It was brutal, it was bloody, it was awesome cover-based shooter. There wasn't really a cover-based shooting game out before Gears that was really memorable that I can remember. If you can, please let me know in the comments, and I'd love to check it out. But Gears of War, especially the Ultimate Edition, is just well, I'm actually going to be firing up and playing through it on Twitch again soon. So I might put my Twitch link in the bio down below, and if you wanna come along and check that out, that would be awesome. But Gears of War is just it's just one of those games that's just always going to be there. Again, if you've already seen my top 5 Halo list, you're probably sensing a pattern here, where Halo 3 is my favourite Halo game, and Gears 3 is my favourite Gears game. By far, the campaign for Gears of War 3 blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. All the different set pieces, the new weapons, the Retro Lancer, just everything. The Horde mode in it was brilliant. All the cosmetic items you could unlock through the multiplayer was brilliant. The multiplayer was brilliant. Everything about Gears of War 3 blew my mind and is a complete 10 out of 10 game. I'm going to be doing a separate review for all the different Gears of War games anyway over the course of my YouTubing career, and I will be playing through them on stream on Twitch. Like I said, I'm going to start with Gears of War Ultimate and playing through the original trilogy. And yeah, obviously Judgment is still wank, so I'm not going to go nowhere near that. And I have just recently played through Gears Tactics, so I've got a review coming out for that soon, and I did enjoy that. That was pretty good. But Gears of War 3 for me ticked all the right boxes. It had just, in my opinion, over the 3 games, it had the best story, it had the best character interaction. They actually let a Carmine live, which was obviously chosen by the fans. The Lambent were really badass enemies alongside of the Locust, and yeah, I just think Gears of War 3 it was a brilliant bookend to the original trilogy. And it just seems to be that years ago, with Microsoft Studios and the studios they worked with to create their exclusives, like with the original Halo trilogy, the Gears of War trilogy, the Fable trilogy, they were good. All of them were good. They were good trilogies. You couldn't really pick out a terrible bad game. Everybody has their favourites and their own personal preferences, but at the end of the day, you couldn't pick out a really bad game, like the original Forza trilogy. And yeah, I don't know what kind of happened with Gears 4 and 5. I don't know, and especially Judgment. God knows what happened there. Somebody had a brain aneurysm by the seams of it. But yeah, just if you haven't played through Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, especially 3, and you have Game Pass, it is well worth playing through. It still holds up today. It still looks so damn good, and of course they're all playable co-op. And I just recording this and talking about it, I personally can't wait to go back through them again. But anyway guys, that's my list of ranking the top 5 mainline Gears of War games. Please let me know in the comments what you think. What order would you put them in? Which one's your favourite? And which one's your least favourite? And if you like Judgment, then there's no saving you whatsoever. But thank you very much for watching this video, and until next time.